By now, I have seen enough of Brian Shaw videos to know that his cameraman always stands at an angle which makes him look twice as big as the guy standing next to him. And we already know that Brian Shaw most of the times is already twice as big as the guy standing next to him, so it makes him look even bigger. Anyways, on a more serious note, Brian Shaw was absolutely dwarfing a 260 plus pounds Brandon Allen. Meanwhile, Eddie Hall is not looking that much bigger than Neil Pickup, who weighs less than 110 kilos. I know it's a game of angles, but still Brandon Allen is at most 6 feet tall and Brian is 6'8". So the size difference, the thickness, the mass, that shouldn't be so much overwhelming when standing next to him. Meanwhile, Eddie Hall should look much bigger than Neil Pickup. So I'll say that the gap of size between these two is going to be much bigger on match day than what it used to be when they used to compete in the strongman days. And based on size alone, forget about training, based on size alone, I think Brian Shaw is going to defeat Eddie Hall. So Brian Shaw just uploaded a video of a practice with Brandon Allen from last weekend. Brandon shared a very important piece of advice in the beginning. Being from powerlifting background, Brandon told Brian Shaw that he was used to of strict rules just like Brian Shaw is. And he used to take a very fair grip and his opponents used to take advantage of him by cheating in the grip. As bad as it may sound, this is where arm wrestling has come to now, and I think it's a great piece of advice to kind of also cheat in the setup, or at least not allow your opponent to cheat against you. Be strong and be dominant in the grip. Don't get overwhelmed by your opponent there. Then he shared another piece of important advice by telling Brian Shaw how to stand back up again if his arm angle starts to open up while going for a pin. So Brian Shaw was making a crucial mistake there. He was letting off the pressure while standing back up to hit once again. Brandon Allen told him to kind of push towards the side and use that pressure to stand back up so that the momentum stays there. And Brian Shaw learned it very quickly. I'm kind of surprised that he didn't know that already. And then one piece of advice which I think was wrong considering Brian Shaw's grip strength. Brandon Allen told him that even Devin Larratt says he tells everyone to not hold on, and that's what Brian Shaw should also be doing. While it can be correct, I think it is correct at the top level because everybody seems to be slipping easily these days. But there was a time, even until 2015, John Brezink showed that it was possible to pin Devin Larratt without the straps. So that thing has a part in arm wrestling. And considering Brian Shaw has one of the strongest grips in the world, probably top 3, I'll say maybe even more than that. So Brian Shaw is not taking any elite matches now. He's arm wrestling against a beginner Eddie Hall. He can 100% pin Eddie Hall without the straps just because of holding on to him, just because of his insane grip strength. So that piece of advice for Brian Shaw is not valid right now. Maybe we can say that it's good to develop a good habit right from the beginning, but he's smart enough to let go of that habit once he needs that, once he gets to the elite level of arm wrestling. Brandon Allen also mentioned that he would like to pull against Brian Shaw on the right arm. Initially, I was thinking that maybe they pulled, but Brian Shaw likes to hide his training. That's why he didn't want to show his level to the arm wrestling fans and especially to Eddie Hall. But then I remembered that during the first part of the video, Brandon Allen mentioned that he has a super match a couple of days later. So that super match has already happened. But even now, I think that even if that practice pull happened, Brian Shaw wouldn't have shown that, because then we could easily assess Brian Shaw's level and maybe even his potential in the future, because Brandon Allen had a very close match with Larry Wheels and we already know Larry Wheels' level. So with 6+ months of training, almost a year of training, I would say that Brian Shaw should be able to beat the guy who beat Larry Wheels in a very close match. That would tell us that his level is good enough to get to the top. But if he couldn't beat Brandon Allen now, then as bad as it may sound, He should probably not even try to get to the top level because it wouldn't be possible. But then Brandon Allen said something interesting. He said that after arm wrestling him on the left arm, Brandon thinks that arm wrestling Brian Shaw on the right arm wouldn't be a smart choice. So maybe he thinks he's too strong, I don't know. Then Brian Shaw went to a stem cell treatment center that has already treated 100 plus arm wrestlers, and the video ended there. Just like we all know, just like we already knew, Eddie Hall is in big trouble. A small update about a small upcoming arm wrestling event. Red Meat Lovers Club is organizing Beef Brawl, a night of pro arm wrestling and big eating. Thursday, November 14th at 7 p.m. The biggest highlight match is Andrei Shark versus Ron Bath. It's gonna be interesting. We recently saw both of them defeat Ryan Bowen pretty convincingly, but still Andrei looked much better while doing that. So is he the favorite in this one? We don't know for sure. Then Dane Sellers versus Josh Miller, Sarah Backman versus Matt. So intergender match. We don't see many of them. Let's see how strong Sarah Backman really is. AMC Arm Wrestling uploaded a news update. Not a very good one, but we'll have to take a look at this. Dear friends, we are sorry to announce that our arm wrestling tournament is being rescheduled for next March. The reasons for this decision are related to certain unforeseen circumstances that we could not ignore. So I hope it is not because of the funding and stuff, because if that is the case, then we may see another great arm wrestling league dying. We have seen many of those in the past due to lack of funding, due to lack of performance in terms of revenue generated by arm wrestling. And it's already about 5 months since we saw the last AMC, which was AMC's 7 event. These events have been amazing, but I don't think they are matching up to the hype that they initially created when Zaur Faizullayev and Vitaly Laletin were arm wrestling each other. And now we're going to see the next event in March. I hope it is a banger. Don't be upset. We continue our work and are preparing many interesting events for you. Stay with us, stay tuned for updates, and share our content on your pages. Asian Arm Wrestling Cup will be held in India in Mumbai from 19th to 27th of October. So only a couple of days remaining. It's not the same as Asian Arm Wrestling Championship organized by WAF, but the level is good here as well. Yes, all the nations won't be competing, but the best arm wrestling nation in Asia, that is Kazakhstan, will definitely be there. And over 100 people from Kazakhstan are coming. Even Nurdolat Aider Khan is coming, the guy who gave the toughest fight to David Samushia. So that kind of shows us that the level is going to be there. There will be many eyes on young Indian arm wrestlers like Yuvraj Verma and especially Aabhas Rana. They'll look at his performance at this event, and from then on, maybe people can judge if Aabhas Rana versus Auden Larratt is going to be a good match or not, or if either one of these two needs more time for this match. Surely it is going to be an interesting one. I'll keep you updated about that. And next year, Asian Arm Wrestling Championship is also going to be held in India. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe.